Hello, and welcome to this December 2019 product release video for HelloID's service automation. We will start with a PowerPoint presentation and then move on to demoing the new functionalities in this release. The first option we added is a pop-up warning message when you try to delete a form. It is a minor change but helpful if you did not mean to click delete. Next, we added the option to preload a date and time component. You may need to retrieve this information from the network. For example, an expiration date on an AD account. You retrieve the date and time by putting the starting date and time in a form via a data source. We have added the same thing for a time component or element. Please note that all form components can now load data from the network as a default value. Then we added the option to label dual list boxes in the dual list component. You can now make it clear for the end user what the meaning of the list boxes are. And finally, the ability to export the whole approval sequence from a product into an action. With this new option, you'll have a complete audit trail in a separate external system to HelloID. You will have everyone that has approved the product in that audit trail in as a variable, and you will be able to export it to, for example, a help desk system or a database. Let's demo these new functionalities. We are logged in as an admin. Let's start with the warning message. Go over to Self-Service and then down to Forms. So let's try to delete a form. And here you can see the pop-up message alerting us to the deletion and asking if we are sure we want to permanently delete this form. We can confirm by hitting delete or cancel to back out of the deletion. Next, the input component for date and time. We click on Add Form to create a new form. We give it a name, Today and Now. We click on Date and Time and then Time. Right now it is not pre-filled, but we can pre-fill it by going over to Edit and then turning the toggles on for retrieving data via a data source. We used a small PowerShell script here in the data source. We choose a date and time and connect it to the value property Date and Time. Click Update Field. These fields are retrieving data using the PowerShell script. Let's do the same thing in time. Use data source, Today and Now, and Date and Time. Update. And now these are the same and in sync. Let's take a look at the PowerShell script. Go over to Automation and down to Tasks. We type in Today and Now. And with a real-time search, it's found with just typing Today. You can also see the data source here. Under Tasks, we can see the PowerShell script, and here is where the date and time variable is being set. Of course, you can retrieve data from any source to set the date and time, as long as you stick to the date and time format. Let's go back to Self-Service and Forms. We click on Data Source, and again search for Today and Now. We go to Edit, and here we can see that Today and Now is the task. We click Execute Task. Now the date and time are being set to that particular value. We can now move on to labels on the dual list control. Since this is a new option in this release, we will edit an existing form with a dual list already in it. We go to Forms and type in Group. We click Edit on this form. This form is set up as multi-step. Down here is a dual list on memberships. Let's click Edit. You can see that the dual list does not have a label yet. Let's label them with all of the groups on the left and groups member of on the right. Click Update Field. So here on the left are all of the groups, and once a user is selected, you will see all of the groups that they are a member of. This makes it easy for the end user to determine what the dual list function is. And on to our last option, the Approved By Audit Trail variable. We go over to Self-Service and down to Products. Then search Visio and click Edit. Now in this product there are two actions. One is the execute the actual action after the approval. The other one is a dummy action to show you how the approval history is passed on to an action. Here we can see the variable request approval history to JSON string. If we execute this action on this product, we see that there is a two-step approval, meaning it must be approved by two different people. Let's do this from an end-user perspective first. We are logged in as an end user, Tajird, and he is going to request Visio. We click Request, and now that request has been sent to the first approver, in this case, Kuz. We log in as Kuz and open up his email. Click Refresh. And here we can see the request. We type in Approved by Kuz. Then First Step Approved. And click Approve. Now we log in as the second approver, the administrator. We do the same thing but change it to Admin and Second. Approve. Now let's take a look at our new request history. We open up the details for Visio. Here we can see the timeline of events in the request process, who and when in order as you scroll down the page. We go to Display Approver and then go to View Log, and then Input Variables. Now, click Task-Specific Variables, and here we can see the approvers, and if we click on them, more information about them, like their user details. We see the first approver, Kuz, and his information. Scroll down and we see the second approver, the admin, and all of their details. We have the whole chain of approvers as well as their comments in the requests. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.